We're going to be talking about learning how to drive. If you don't know, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay, so you have to make a decision. Driving is a personal decision. Do you have the money to sign up for driver's ed? If you're over 18, you're going to have to go to the Secretary of State and get something called a TIP. A TIP is a temporary instruction permit. I want to talk about choices. Number one, making every decision carefully. Do you have the time? It takes about 30 days, 30 to 45 days. Everyone's a little bit different. The prices vary. In terms of going to the DMV, anywhere from $15 to $25. You're going to have to take a knowledge test. This knowledge test consists of road signs, pavement markings, rules of the right of way. Once you pass that test, you're going to secure a permit, a temporary instruction permit. That's why it's called a TIP. So with that TIP, what you're going to do is practice with someone driving over 21 years old. You should be learning the rules of the right of way. You should be learning how to parallel park. You should be learning how to pull off from a side street onto a major thoroughfare. You should be learning how to merge on the expressway. You should learn basic parking maneuvers, angle parking, parallel parking, stall parking. Know how to reverse into a driveway. It varies. Sometimes you might have to pull up to a curb. You can't be any closer than 12 inches. If you hit the curb, that will be automatic failure. Next, let's talk about number two, thinking everything through responsibly. Once you put your money down, if you're taking private lessons, anywhere from $75 an hour on up to $125, your instructor will customize a driving program for you. What is best for you? Do you need to work on low speed maneuvers, turning that steering wheel hand over hand in, hand over hand out? Do you need to learn how to parallel park where you're pulling up next to a car, you reverse back, you cut your wheel all the way to the right, the rear goes in at a 45 angle, and once you're halfway, you turn back? Do you need to work on merging on expressway where you're on a ramp? The traffic is moving 65, 70 miles an hour. You're going to have to build up speed and merge in and pick up speed and accelerate. It varies. Whatever area you're weak on, you need to have that customized conversation with your instructor. And this leads us to number three, exercising your freedom to choose. You want an instructor who is passionate about driving, who really wants you to pass, who's willing to be patient with you, help you with your mistakes, help you with your shortcomings. We all have shortcomings. We all want to get better as a driver. Even me as an instructor, there are always things I want to improve on. I want to make that perfect hand-over-hand turn. I want to make that left turn and turn by the double yellow. I want to look left, right, and left before I make my right turn onto the main road. I want to really nail that parallel parking in less than 6 turns of the steering wheel. Good instructors will sit down and have a conversation with you. They'll say, okay, here's what you need to work on. Let's put together a customized plan so we can improve. This leads us to my next point. And I'm going to read this. My mindset for growth. You have to have a mindset of growth. You have to want to get better. No one is going to go through the process unless you go through it one at a time. And we talk about fear and anxiety. I have had almost a near miss before driving my vehicle on a closed track where the vehicle launched. I veered left and almost hit the wall. My insurance agent said, if you don't get back in your vehicle and make another pass down the track, you will never be able to drive again. So after I almost hit the wall and I saved my car from hitting the wall, I got out, my brother was there, my good friend was there, and I had to take 5 or 10 minutes. Literally, I almost lost my life. And it happened so quickly because I had launched my car, I overturned, the car veered to the left, and I lifted my foot. I was heading toward the wall, and I was going to kill myself or or injure someone else. But luckily, I squeezed my brake and I kind of eased the car, and then I made it. So there are stories that can help us, and you need to learn from the mistakes of others. You're going to learn from me. So I did get in the car again. I did what I needed to do. I got the car in the groove. I heated up my tires, and then I launched it, and it went straight. I went about 152 miles an hour. And then I pulled the parachute. I was okay. But that made an impact on me. And you always reflect on these things. So you always want to, and I'm going to go to number 4, decide what is right and do it. If it's time for you to get in the driver's ed or get some lessons to help you overcome your fear and anxiety, you need to take the time to do that. You need someone who's going to be supportive. This could be your older sibling. This could be your uncle or auntie. You don't need anyone who's going to say, stop, what are you doing? You don't need anyone to scare you. You need someone who's going to give you love, who's going to give you support, and encourage you to consistently do the right maneuver. Okay, when you take the time to look at my content, I'm a state certified instructor. I'm very passionate about driving. I want all of you to be successful. And I understand your fears, I understand your anxieties, because I live it every single day. We're in the lab, so excuse some noise. But I want you to understand that you're not alone. I want to talk to you about some things that could cause you. I have the final road skills evaluation. I'm going to give you some insight. I'm going to bring you value. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up, share it. So the first thing you're going to do, if your instructor has to intervene, meaning you're going to hit the curb, you're going to swerve into a car, you're going to run a light, that's failure. You've got to be able to demonstrate control of the vehicle. Next, if you disobey signs or signals, if you run a red light, automatic termination. It's going to happen. So you've got to think ahead and anticipate, when is this light going to change? Look at the crosswalk sign. Many crosswalk signs have a countdown timer of 10, 9, 8, 7, and so on. So they have that countdown timer. So that can help you. If you can slow down safely without slamming brakes and causing an accident, you need to do that. Next, speeding 10 or more miles over the limit. You may get one warning. Or they might say, we're terminating the test. I need you to go back to the DMV. You have to drive at a speed that is safe and reasonable for the conditions on the road. If you're not, you're going to end up creating chaos. And this goes back to choices, making every decision carefully. If you decide to speed, then you're going to put yourself in jeopardy. You're going to be cut off. You're going to cut off other cars. You're going to scare your trainer. You're going to scare the instructor. You will show the road tester that you're not prepared for the test. Okay? Next, let's continue. On curves, you want to maintain your proper speed and position. Centrifugal force will pull you to the outside of the edge. You're going into the curve too fast. On the other side, if you're going too slow, you're holding up cars. You could also be terminated or get a reduced driving license. We can only drive during the day. Everyone's a little bit different. There are no absolutes. Everyone has a different perspective on cars, on trucks, on merging out, on parking. Next, do you turn your head to identify proper turning? If I'm making a right turn, I want to look left, right, and left. Come up and turn hand over hand into the nearest lane. If my tire goes up on the curb, that's automatic failure. Okay? I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. And I'm just trying to bring you good value. I want you to do your best work, and I want to encourage you to be successful. And it takes encouragement. It takes someone who is willing to help you. And when you take the time to look at my content, you're going to see real in-car situations. You're going to see real road testing, real road test prep. And then you're going to see me actually going over some of the lessons. Okay, I want to continue because we're talking about overcoming that fear and anxiety of driving. You have to have someone who you can trust. That person was my cousin, right? And she would give me feedback without screaming, without getting nervous, without grabbing anything. And you need someone who's gonna be honest with you. And if you have someone who's not honest, you won't learn, because when you're in there taking your test, you're gonna have a total stranger. They're gonna have their papers, they're gonna have a clipboard, they're gonna say, I need you to make a right turn at the light. They wanna see you stop behind the stop line, that's that big thick line. They wanna see you look left, right, and left. And then after you do that, you have to turn when it's clear. If you turn in front of a car and cause that car to veer off, automatic failure. If you don't accelerate out of the turn, then you will get a deduction. If you turn in the wrong lane, you turn wide and go to the left lane and the car is making a left turn, you're going to get hit. That's going to cause failure. So there are a lot of tricky situations that can cause you to have anxiety, pulling out in front of traffic, very nervous, merging an expressway, a lot of anxiety, going in downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, downtown Philadelphia. There's a lot of traffic, roundabouts, where you literally almost stop, or you go too fast and you're going into the curb. I've had students hit the curb because they're going in too fast. So you need to be able to communicate with your instructor and with your parent or guardian or your bestie. They need to sit there with the clipboard and give you that feedback. Hey, I thought your speed was okay. Sometimes you were too fast, other times you were way too slow. Or you made a nice merge, but you cut off that truck and they had to. Now, in the driver's side car, we have two mirrors. We have the regular passenger mirror, and then we have another mirror. So we have a dual mirror vehicle. I do have a brake on my side. No, I don't have a steering wheel. A lot of people have asked me about that. Do not have a steering wheel. So I want to see my students have good vehicle control. I want to see that vehicle centered in the lane. A lot of beginning drivers hug the right because they're used to sitting on the passenger side, and then they put themselves in the middle and the car's all the way to the right. You'll fail because you're hugging the right, you'll sideswipe cars, you'll knock off mirrors. Lane ends. How do I get my permit? Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you got your permit. I'm doing good. Just trying to spread positivity, trying to encourage all of you to do well. And when you do well, I do well because I look at your comments. And then we're going to have some good things coming soon. So I just want to keep spreading positivity. I want to encourage all of you to drive safe, to get your permit, take your road test, get your license, and then check in with me. How are you doing? Because nothing is promised. We're living for today, right now. We're not living for tomorrow. We're not living 24 hours ago. I'm here with you talking about overcoming fear and anxiety. And how do you do that? You find a source who can support you and help you, who will be honest with you, but not so critical you're like scared to make a mistake. You need someone who's going to listen and who is not scared to help you get into a car, to show you how to adjust your seat. And you want to adjust your seat, you want your arms slightly bent, and you want to have your hands at 9 and 3, 10 and 2, different areas, 7 and 5, 7 and 3. You want to find a comfortable position. I'm a very tall guy, 6'4", 260, so you want to have your arms slightly bent. You don't want the steering wheel in your face because the airbag will come out, but you don't want your arms fully extended. You want to be slightly bent. Put on your seatbelt. That's important. When you're driving in your car, frame your rear window in your mirror. You see me looking straight. Frame that window in your mirror. So when you're driving, I should see your eyes. Look up. And then your left mirror, I should see you looking. Okay? If you have to turn your head, you're going to veer off the road. Mirror adjustment is very important, and you'll be seeing more things like that very soon. You want to have smooth stops. Usually beginning drivers stop too late, slam the brake, or they stop way too early. They're 5, 10 cars away. So through practice and repetition, also wear thin sole shoes. Do not wear thick sole shoes. Don't wear sandals. Crocs are good. Converse are good. Not sponsored, but thin sole shoes are very important. Smooth acceleration. You never want to hit the gas really hard. If you do, the car's going to launch up, and you're going to turn the wheel to the right or to the left. Okay? Next, you have to yield for pedestrians. Pedestrians always have the right of way. I dropped a couple of videos about pedestrians in school zones, downtown areas. You literally want to look in that pedestrian's eye, look in those kids' eyes, look in the group of people, because they'll walk out in front of you. You have to yield for them. They always have the right of way. Next, search, use your mirrors, select targets. If you're making a right turn, I should see you get in the car position to the right lane, wheel straight. I should feel you slowing down, squeezing your brake. I should see you looking left, right, left. And then once you squeeze your brake, you always need practice. And I'm here for you. And I'll do more in-car stuff. We're going to have some in-car tutorials very soon where we'll figure out how we'll communicate, okay? You want to be able to judge that stopping distance. You want to keep good following distance. I call it a space cushion, where you have space between each car. You never want to tailgate, because if someone stops fast, you're going to rear end them. And in most states, if you rear end someone, you're at fault. So we don't want to rear end other drivers. We want to keep space. We want to take our time. And it's a routine. Typically what I do, and I'm telling you what I do, I will take you around the corner 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. You're going to get 16 right turns. I want to see good hand over hand in, hand over hand out. I want to see you gradually accelerating out, not slamming the brake. Your instructor should be taking you through neighborhoods, right turns, left turns. They should have you pulling in driveways, looking, checking traffic, putting it in reverse, backing us out. Okay, I'll do, how to pull into a driveway, how to reverse out. And you're going to get value, because I'm a state certified driving instructor. And that means something, because I'm very proud of that, but I'm also very humble. I have a lot of candor. I have a lot of love. I'm not going to pretend I know everything, because I don't. But I'm willing to listen to you, read the comments, and to improve. That's what good instructors, good teachers do. They listen to their students. They ask clarification questions. And if there's something you feel uncomfortable with in the car, leave a comment. I'll explain it, I'll help you, I'll encourage you, because I want you to be successful. And I enjoy coming on this media format to encourage you to get your permit, to get your TIP, to enroll in driver's education, because I am very passionate. Why? Because my mind is set for growth. I'm set to help you be successful. And when you're successful, jobs, opportunities will come. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.